and we'll get into, you know, some polls. I've made up some nice polls. I think we'll have a lot of fun, participating in a few polls. And then what I want to do is have us, all of us over here share some of our own experiences, from our own businesses as to how you are communicating with your customers and what's working and what's not. So let me share the screen quickly, a couple of slides, and then let's get into the roundtable. All right, everybody is seeing the screen here?
Yes, yes.
Okay, great. So again, this is a technology and business roundtable. I'm the host, Sanjay Dalal, the founder and CEO of oGoing. And today's topic is on effective customer communications. This slide I created as a way of sharing how diverse, our customer communications are, but also how diverse, our communities are, wherever we do business. And I think diversity and inclusion are two big topics of the day that we do need to think about as we are communicating with our customers. A quick overview of oGoing, the company oGoing, which is what I manage. We are a business community. So we are similar to LinkedIn, but the focus is we are LinkedIn for businesses. So we are an online business community, growing every day. One key difference between us and some of the other business communities is that every business that joins oGoing, every member that joins is verified. So you cannot join just like that. You have to go through a verification process. We make sure you are real. We make sure your business is real, and then only you get to be on our platform. What this means is we have a beautiful community which is authentic. Where every member can collaborate and communicate well with other members, and it really helps you build authentic connection. Besides making great connections, by being on oGoing, it helps you boost your brand and your SEO. What I've found is the more active businesses stay on oGoing, the more they are able to find themselves as well as their businesses and their services and products, through SEO, right, which is through search engines like Google, Bing, and Yahoo. So again, it works really well for search engine optimization. It actually helps you boost your ranking online. So what I find is the active members on the oGoing community, they end up, having a much higher page ranking, on their search engines, on their websites. And finally, it does help you boost your business. So our goal is always to make sure once you're on oGoing, you can then make your connections and find your customers, find your partners, find other, business providers that you can do business with. And by doing so, it helps you ultimately grow your business. Again, it just takes 5 to 10 minutes to join, and once you're on it, you can start building your business, visibility, and growing your business, profile through oGoing. But today's roundtable is about customer communications and business networking, and what I want to do is actually go around and take a quick pulse as to how everybody is doing, so and we can then share what we are doing as well. So let's do that. I'm going to go back to the roundtable here. We're going to start off in this setting. I know Anil and Pankaj were the first ones to join. I don't see Pankaj right now. Did he just go out somewhere? I guess so. So let's start with Anil. Anil, maybe you can briefly introduce yourself, where you're calling in from, and a little bit about your business.
Thank you, Sanjay. Thank you for hosting this event. You host such good events every month, even during the pandemic time. Thanks for having us. And my name is Anil Ramanini. I'm the executive director of TIE SoCal, and I run a full-time IT solutions company specializing in mobile web and IT support, infrastructure support solutions company, and we're 24/7 knock and SOC for enterprise or medium-sized businesses, and we maintain a great SLAs, industry standard SLAs, and that's what we do. And I'm based out of Cerritos, and office is in Laguna Hills.
Oh, fantastic, fantastic. And how's the business going? Is it picking up now?
Actually, it's been picking up. It's been picking up now slowly, but I have been communicating mostly via emails and phone calls and Zoom only. I haven't been going and meeting people.
Yeah, and we'll talk about customer communication, and what are some ways businesses are tackling, in this pandemic for sure. Koshi, how are you doing?
Good. Good, Sanjay. Thank you. So yeah, I work for a Canadian oil field manufacturing company where we manufacture some skids and VSDs. It's called variable speed drives for monitoring something in the well. The equipments in the well.
Oh, nice.
So I was working in Oman and then UAE, but due to COVID, I am back now in my home in Cochin, India. So from here, I join. Yeah, thank you.
For those of you not familiar with the geography of India, Cochin is one of the southernmost cities in India. Bruce, go ahead, Bruce.
Hi, I'm Bruce Webb. I'm actually working with a number of different companies, one of which is iTelecom that provides customized telecommunications for some of the smaller companies. But and most importantly, I work with a company called FundingNet that can actually fund a lot of the really robust telecommunication vehicles that people want to use to either go ahead and consolidate markets, which right now is not a bad time to do it because of COVID. You've got a lot of companies that are not doing well, and there's a perfect chance for you to be an aggregator in the market. And this is a very unique way of doing that. So it combines telecommunications, telecom, along with some funding issues.
So are you on the hardware side, Bruce, or software, or both?
It's actually providing just working with the system, almost like the go-between, the person who gets paid by the folks who provide all the different systems, 8x8, all those other systems. And as well as the funding mechanism is actually a large family office that does global funding. So they love India and they'd love to do more business there, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, thanks, Bruce. By the way, quick, note: if you're not talking, if you can just mute your microphone until you get your chance to speak, because otherwise it creates a little bit of feedback. And we are sharing it on Facebook Live, except that I'm sharing it directly on my Facebook, so I apologize. I think you have to be connected to me, but I think next time I'm going to put it on the oGoing umbrella as well. Dave, go ahead. Dave Austin.
Yeah, afternoon, gentlemen. We're expense reduction consultants. Bottom line, we reduce expense cost or we add revenue for a business. When we talk, automation is a major thing right now with everything that's going on with COVID and remote businesses. So a number of our services provide some essentials for that kind of work. I've got such a list of services. I mean, we don't have enough time. But basically, we add to the bottom line, improve EBITDA, whatever number you want, and everything we do is on a contingent basis. So it is a win-win. If I don't find something for you, you're not going to pay me. And my flagship programs, you won't pay me anyway because I'm going to be able to receive payment from the backside. And that I have to mention that's on shipping, which is small parcel and better. The other one would be medical benefits. I'm saving companies 20-30% on medical benefit costs. Now in California, we got to go at 100 or better employees. The rest of the world, I can do it at 50.
No, that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah. So
now that stipulation is it because of certain ways in which you can find efficiencies, or is it?
No, it's due to state laws.
Oh, state laws. Okay.
Yeah. Actually, the other state would be New York. So go figure.
Fair enough.
You know.
Thanks. Thank you, Dave, for joining, and love what
No,
you do.
thank you for having me.
Hark, what's up? Go ahead, Hark.
I'm Hark Wasa from a company called Pop White, and Pop White is in the business of teeth whitening, and so we supply oral care solution to consumers. They buy our toothpaste and oral care products, and the dental offices purchase our Profi paste, which is what they use to clean and polish your teeth when you go to dental office. And we are super excited because the business is now picking up strongly as all the dental offices are again back to normal, close to normal rather, after COVID-19. And we are also in a major expansion where we are now building an international distribution network. So we are negotiating with Australia, New Zealand, Singapore, Hong Kong, India, a number of countries around the world. So we are very excited about that. We also put together a pitch deck to raise our next round of capital because we are on a major expansion plan to grow our business by 100-fold in the next 5 years. So big expansion plan, and we are super excited about that.
Thank you, Hark, for joining. I've seen your product. I've used it. It's a purple paste, very interesting, and but it actually works. It has a lot of great reviews online. I know they also sell it on Amazon as well. So check it out, Pop White toothpaste and teeth whitening. Yeah. Bharat, how are you, Bharat? Go ahead.
My name is Bharat Bhakta, and I'm in the travel business still, but doing very good travel. Travel and
I like
hotel.
that optimism. Yes.
Yes. I have two businesses, travel and hotel. They're still doing the hotel doing very good right now, still in Los Angeles. And the travel is just started right now after 6 months. We are starting now our business very good now, in travel. But it's going to be very good business right now, travel industry and the hotel industry.
In travel, is there a specific area that you focus on, Bharat?
We do a lot of groups, FITs, like all the packages. We have in India also, we have two offices in Ahmedabad and New Delhi.
All right.
And this is the Los Angeles office for last 28 years.
Fantastic.
Yes, and we do like lot of developing some agriculture industry between Mexico and India right now.
Fantastic. Yeah, that's my hometown in India. I born in Ahmedabad. Yes.
Yes. I'm from Surat.
You're from Surat. Okay.
I'm the mushroom grower right now. First mushroom from 1978. I started in India.
Oh wow. Okay.
1978. Wow. I'm the first mushroom grower in India actually.
Oh, so you actually grew mushroom back in India in 1970?
Yes, and then I got the farm over here in California, 1985 also.
That is amazing. Wow.
Yeah, but after that I changed my whole industry now, but still I'm active on that one. To help the people, yes.
That's awesome. Thanks, Bharat.
Thank you.
Man of many tastes. Thank you, sir.
Yes.
Pankaj Dayal. Pankaj, go ahead.
Hey, good evening, everyone. Before I begin anything, I have to say hats off to Sanjay's dad, Mr. Bharat Dalal, who is in India at this early in the morning. He is on the call. Sir, pranam is all I can say to you. Koshi, you're a young guy, so you being on the call at this time of the morning is okay. But this gentleman, he deserves a round of applause. So, having said that, my name is Pankaj Dayal. My firm is P&R Financial Services LLC, and I am in a very specific area of the financial services business, which is just retirement plans for businesses. So I do not touch anything other than what you most commonly know as a 401k. Sorry, Koshi, that is not something you would know about. But the rest of you probably do. Right. And Dave, I have to say, I really like your background. I don't know what that aircraft is, but it looks amazing. Thank you.
I think I'd asked him that question last time, and he gave us some background on that.
Oh, well, the big picture behind me is a P-51.
There you see, I live in Antelope Valley. Okay, the other name for the Antelope Valley is Aerospace Valley. I don't know if you know that,
Oh, I am very familiar with it.
And
Yeah.
I see the Marine symbol, and you probably know R. Lee Ermey.
Who?
R. Lee Ermey.
Okay, unfortunately, yes, I do know him, and I've met him personally, but he has passed away here a while back.
The avenue that I live on used to be called Avenue N, as in Nancy. It has been renamed after his passing to R. Lee Ermey Avenue. Yes, sir.
Yeah, he was a great guy.
Yes.
We were contemporaries, actually.
Unfortunately, I never met him, but I do go to Bravery Brewing, which is one of his businesses that he started in the Valley.
Oh, okay.
And anytime you come up, the beer is on me.
I'll have to get an address for you, and we'll do that.
You should.
I'll just jog around. I usually, if I'm going out to California from here, I'm in Vegas, is I can go and do San Clemente where my granddaughters are. So I'll just have to make a jog.
Well,
that's great. Pankaj, I think we will do the networking afterwards. I love the conversation, but I want to get, but that's part of the roundtable. We want to have a little fun. I mean, I'm not going to stop you guys from doing that, but maybe afterwards.
There you go.
I want to have special thanks to my dad who joined me from Ahmedabad, Gujarat. Can you hear us and can you talk? Is your microphone unmuted? Bharat Dalal.
Can I talk?
Yes, sir. Go ahead. Yes.
Well, things in India are not very pleasant.
Yeah.
Corona is increasing rapidly. I think, unfortunately, we are adding every day 100,000 cases every day.
Wow.
And we are expecting that what they call, I mean, we'll be able to develop some immunity, what you call herd immunity, but it's not happening.
Yeah.
So things are not improving. But then, fortunately, our our death rate is very low, less than 1%. That is the most amazing thing. And that happened because of our Prime Minister's emphasis from very beginning on lockouts. He's the one who started lockout. But unfortunately, people are not able to, let us say, not having proper discipline, not wearing masks, which is the most important thing to prevent corona affecting you.
Absolutely. So,
business-wise, things are picking up, and it's amazing to know that in Ahmedabad, you find crowds of people working, going to the offices, and helping themselves. They're not taking this, let us say, in a manner which will prevent them from doing their job. In that way, we should really salute people taking risk and doing their work.
yeah, Zoom has worked really well.
Customer communications is a very interesting development in this time. Zoom is really very effectively being employed. No question about it. Meetings are going on Zoom. For example, IIM is organizing a lot of meetings on Zoom with students, with business people also, in every aspect. Communications are taking place. And I must say, Zoom has been one of the major factors being employed in Ahmedabad and here in India. Secondly, communications are also taking place in a big way through TV serials. They are communicating.
Okay.
The advertisers are communicating for the customer. It's a great development in a sense that the way the communications are taking place is amazing.
TV, you mean TV programs, okay?
TV programs.
On television.
Television. And another way they are communicating is, of course, internet. Internet advertising is being also big way. People are really getting used to it. And one of the things that has happened it is unfortunate. I don't know whether it's called unfortunate or fortunate, that lot of offices are being now vacant. People have started working from home. It's a great development. It saves time, cost of going to the office, and a lot of eco communication is taking place. That is really, people were not used to it, but now they're getting used to it and they like it. That working in the home, in spite of your spouse making a lot of noise, they're enjoying it. Children
I think on that note, I'm going to get to the next person, Nina. Nia, welcome. I haven't seen you since, I don't know, 20 years. I'm just kidding, but it's been a long time. How are you doing?
It's been really long.
Yeah, welcome to the roundtable. Thank you for joining. And where are you calling it from?
I'm calling from Sacramento,
Yeah.
California. And
What's your business and what do you do nowadays?
Sure. So I really briefly, I have a daughter who's has a rare condition. She's 14. I have 14 years of experience in technology and healthcare because of my advocacy for my daughter. And I am now an entrepreneur after 30 years.
Oh,
I was
fantastic.
an entrepreneur before WebEx.
Yes.
And I am focused on air purification. So I'm involved with a company that is innovative and is addressing air issues as well as surfaces. So I'm really excited about, the launch of my company and representing this technology. Is going to help a lot of people. And I'm just glad to be invited. Thank you, Sanjay.
Well, thank you, Nina. And you mean air for offices or homes or anywhere?
Actually, indoor spaces. So a couple of customers that I have are now, they're doctors, because that's the sector I'm used to working with, is doctors, providers, clinicians, in the home, business to business. We are the only solution inducted in the Hall of Fame of, the Space Hall of Fame, starting with NASA. And the company's been around for over 90 years, started with Electrolux. So the crossover between healthcare and tech aligns with my own mission to protect communities and businesses. So it's, again, a real honor to be here today.
Thank you, Nina. So for those of you, not quite 20 years, but we used to work at WebEx together. I think the last I probably saw you was probably back in 2004, 2005 timeframe.
Right.
So more like 15 years. So I was
right.
So thank you again for joining. Let's go quickly. We have Subramanian here. Subramanian, can you?
The company does. What does that company do? What does the company do?
Actually, we provide air, clean air. So we provide a product.
Clean air devices, yeah.
Yes.
So what does it do?
It actually kills RNA, DNA viruses in the air, and contaminants, mold, dust, spores, using active pure technology. So it's not a filtration system, it's an active, innovative technology that actually converts oxygen molecules and water molecules. It passes through a honeycomb matrix and then disperses as hydrogen peroxide. So that's kind of what it does. So it's the only unit that actually purifies air and sanitizes surfaces.
And what are the typical companies or people who use this kind of product?
Anyone that's concerned about their air.
Is it
indoors?
Is it for a home or is it for businesses?
It's for both.
You are just a second. If you can mute your microphones, guys, the ones who are not speaking, that'll be great. Thank you.
It is for both businesses and homes.
Oh, I see. And
schools.
Yeah, typically, how much does it cost?
I can discuss it after the call.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm just curious, that is it affordable to use in the business?
Oh, absolutely. Happy to talk to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Nina. Thank you, Hark. Subramanian, go ahead, sir.
Hi, thanks, Sanjay, and thanks again for hosting the meeting. My name is Subra for short. I'm in the Bay Area. I wear, I guess, 3 different hats. They're all related. I've been a consulting professor at Stanford for several years. I also do some strategy and technology consulting work and serve on advisory boards and the like.
Yep.
I'm also incubating a startup and a global virtual collaboratory that I hope to talk about at some future meeting. And that's about it for me. I look forward to potentially collaborating and working with other members in the oGoing community as things move along. Thanks.
Thank you, Subra, for joining. And when you say consulting prof, what areas students are enjoying your?
Well, technically, I'm in the engineering school and computer science in EE, but I also interact with the business and medical schools.
Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you for joining and sharing. Thank you. Prince, Savani, Prince, are you still here? Can you unmute and share quickly?
Sure. Hi. So I'm joining in from India. I've been in Canada for a good part of 6 years now, but I was visiting my family here in March and the country went on lockdown. I'm the founder and CEO of Prince Multiverse Inc. What is it about? Well, we're here to enable people engineer their journey to success. A little brief background about myself. I bring over a decade of tech business leadership and strategy. I've worked in finance, ERP, e-commerce, e-governance, briefly healthcare, and most recently telecom domains. I've worked with some of the major brands across the globe, including a few blue chip companies in consulting, management, and leadership capacities. Under the overarching umbrella of Prince Multiverse Inc., I venture into coaching, mentoring. I help entrepreneurs and individuals in the areas of career, business, and life. When it comes to entrepreneurs, all new, budding, and laterals, I help them grow. Currently, I'm working with 5 of them, helping them scale their businesses to go global. And I can talk in detail later about that. Over and above that, we're also producing through the internal teams that I've built and I'm growing global innovative product platforms. Currently, I have 3 ventures running under the overarching umbrella, which is Prince Multiverse. One is focused at, again, in alignment with the mission of the brand, which is to help enable people engineer their journey to success. These platforms are facilitating the enablement. One is focused at helping the people in the entertainment sector create more opportunities for them, put them in charge of their success globally. The second one is focused at uplifting the lives of LGBTQIA in India. We'll roll it out in India and then we'll take it globally. Why LGBTQIA? Why India? I've been a proud ally for 4 or 5 years now. I was briefly in Mumbai in 2018. I attended a workshop that said, okay, 377 happened, what's next? They talked about the various issues that the members of the community are facing. They're struggling for the basic needs, wants, and rights. I would just briefly say, there are various cases. Our culture is slightly, and I know there are a lot of us from India here, so please don't mind me. I'm just trying to solve a social problem. Our culture is slightly less accepting of the members of the community. There are a ton of scenarios where people are in remote locations. Their families disown them. They don't have access to education or finances. We're trying to bring in these people, help them, train them in alignment with their interests, and place them as entrepreneurs, as freelancers, even in corporates. I have a couple business partners in that venture. One of them owns an HRBP organization. I'm helping him grow that to scale, and in exchange, he's helping me with his HR skills. He's helping us with his HR skills here. And the other member, he's based out of the Valley. He himself is a member of the community, and he started out.
Sorry to interrupt, but what is one thing you can help our community here, and what do you need help with?
I'm just here to learn about all of your journeys when it comes to help. And you did talk about how are you reaching out to customers. I don't necessarily look at this as customers. I'm helping a lot of people, especially through COVID, during COVID. It has turned our globe into a global village. So I'm just happy to socialize and help as many as I can.
Okay, so your main customer is entrepreneurs. You help a lot of entrepreneurs.
the people that I'm helping are entrepreneurs and individuals.
Okay. All right. Thanks for joining. Sorry to interrupt because we want to get to the main program. So,
No, makes sense. No worries.
Thanks for joining.
Thank you.
And we have Anthony Salim. Is he joining from Indonesia? Anthony, how are you? Anthony?
Yes, thank you for this opportunity. And I think I'm the only one from Indonesia, so that's one thing.
Welcome to this roundtable. It's great to see you. Thank you.
Yeah, nice to meet you. It's 7 a.m. now in Indonesia. So yeah. So my business is in the agriculture technology instruments. So we supply agriculture technology 4.0 to the customers. And right now, most of our customers are plantation, such as oil palm, which is big in Indonesia. And we also supply to university and research station. And we also starting our own startup to, nowadays, of course, regarding with the agriculture technology. And yeah, I guess that's about it.
That's great. And what help do you need, Anthony? And what would you like to see?
Yeah, actually, one of the things is that we are building our startup and we wanted to see whether we can get funding or we can get our startup to solve the problem of the other part of the world. That's what I want to see.
Okay, that's great. Thanks again for joining, and I'm sure one of us could help you on that, or we'll communicate offline as well. Let's see. I hope I'm not missing anyone. We have Natasha here. Natasha, are you also joining in, or is it with Hark?
This is Hark Masa. Natasha works with me in White, and so she just said that whatever Hark said is fine.
Okay, that's fine. And Ari Shen, Ari, how are you? Long time, my friend.
Right. How are you?
Good, Ari. Thanks for joining.
Thank you so much for inviting. Not always I'm able to join. So it was me with a fresh remark that you told us that you met Nina 20 years ago, and I asked if she was two then at that time.
I saw that, but I didn't make much about that. I said, I think let Nina reply to that.
I was in my 20s. That was a while ago.
Ari, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yes, and by the way, since then I sent you, Nina, an email, a chat here with my email. Because I'm also interested to hear about the product. But anyways, you say, always a pleasure. What should I say about today? Well, I have many hands in many different things, so maybe I should mention an initiative that I started 2-3 months ago to help foreign companies come with innovative technologies in the US. And actually, I'm going to have a webinar with India-based companies middle of October. We're now in the process of accepting applications and sorting through. It's usually companies that we focus on are from the med space, either med tech or healthcare, life science, and so on.
That's great.
That's
any business going on with Israel right now? How is Israel doing?
Yes. Thank you for bringing it up. Always have something going on the cyberspace side of things and predictive analytics, those companies that I work with. I got involved last year with a local laboratory, molecular lab that does next-gen sequencing for cancer patients. Right. And the IP, intellectual property research company, is going strong. We added several IP lawyers as our clients. So all in all, life is busy. So I'm conducting everything from home since March, but it seems like it's just getting busier. So all good. Thank you.
Well, it's good to see all of you guys doing well and staying healthy. So that's always a huge positive. Let me start off with a quick poll here. I have poll 1 and 2, and the key difference here is what do you use most to communicate with existing customers, and the second question is with prospective customers. So there's a difference. subtle difference. Just quickly have fun responding to this, and we'll share the results right after.
But we cannot choose multiple.
No, I said the most, and there is a question later on in the poll about different things you use. So I just wanted to put you all on a spot. So the word here is the most, right? And then we'll talk about the top three as well right after.
This is for customer communication, right?
Yes, this is for existing customers, the first question.
I
Who do you
can't click
use the most?
submit for some reason.
And the second question is for prospects, right? Because
Okay, there's a drop down, okay?
there's a drop down, yes. So if you go a little bit down, you will see the second question in there. It's just a little fun.
The submit lights up. Okay, here we go. We're getting it.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then if you scroll down, you will have the submit button, yes. So this just gives us a sense of, there are a lot of things people are using, number one, as you can see. And number two, yeah, let's just see what is everybody's favorite tool here. I'll give you all maybe another 5 seconds. I've seen 11, it's 70+% responses now, which is good. If you haven't responded yet, you can quickly get your vote in. Otherwise, you'll have to wait till next meeting, just kidding. All right, let's just go ahead and close it. So yeah, let's share the results quickly. Yeah, as we all thought, for existing customers, email is still the primary means of communication. And again, I asked the most. I'm sure you're using more than one thing. And then, believe it or not, Zoom is up there. I see one person using WhatsApp. And then if you go to prospects, again, email is up there as well, Zoom and other web conferencing tools, WhatsApp, and many of you said LinkedIn messages as well. So this is, and actually that's all of this is, something I share as well. And the reason to bring this up is that I want to share with you a slide right after this poll. So let me go ahead and stop it. Everybody saw the results, yeah? There are quite a lot of tools here, and we'll talk about that quickly as well, as to all different things customers are using right now to share with their customers. So let me go back to the PDF here that I had. And just quickly sharing a quote, which I thought makes sense, in today's world. Focusing on the customer is always important. It makes a company even more resilient, and that's by Jeff Bezos, Amazon founder and CEO. And we just took the poll, but yeah, I just wanted to show you this particular slide. And let me just zoom in here. So there are many ways customers are communicating, or companies are communicating with their customers today. And the key is you got to start thinking what really works for you, your business. And on that poll, I didn't even put all of this here because it will just be too many things to put. But here are just a few things you can see, from email to phone calls, of course, to face-to-face, which is much less in the current times because of COVID. But Zoom is up there. A lot of customers use FaceTime, if you're on the, the iPhone and the iOS systems, Facebook messengers, iMessaging, of course, the good old fashioned text, or SMS messaging, Google Meet, WebEx is still around. A lot of people still use a lot of WebEx. Microsoft is doing extremely well with Microsoft Teams, actually. LinkedIn messaging, some of you are already using LinkedIn. WhatsApp is used a lot in India and actually growing quite a bit now all over the world. And we have a lot of WhatsApp groups that we constantly message on, especially it's great for group messaging. A lot of, if your businesses are growing and you serve a lot of customers through your website chat and website chat bots are something a lot of businesses are using actively now. Slack is very good, very useful for both team collaboration as well as collaboration with customers. Live video is a particular form of conferencing, which is, and we are doing the live Facebook right now, and then seeing a lot of live video on both on LinkedIn as well as Twitter and many other platforms. Again, live video is catching on and is becoming a very big piece of communicating with your prospective clients as well as existing customers. Of course, social media, and then the good old-fashioned, sharing forms on your website as well as doing surveys. So again, there's a lot going on in how customers are communicating with the businesses and how businesses are communicating with the clients. The key message here is companies cannot remain one-dimensional, right? That's the key message. If you're just doing one thing, like if you're just doing emails, you cannot survive anymore. You have to embrace, multidimensional communications, and you have to figure out what works well for you or with you. But let me ask you this, here is a company where there are 300 million daily participants, which translates to 9 billion participants every month. Can you all tell me what this company is? 300 million daily and 9 billion monthly participants now.
Is it LinkedIn?
It's a good guess, but it's not.
Zoom?
Yeah, it is Zoom actually, believe it or not. So Zoom has grown so rapidly in the last years and even more so this year. And this was as of April of this year, but they were actually having over 300 million daily participants. And yeah, and if you translate that into monthly basis, of course, they're not all uniques, but the fact is that's how many of us are using Zoom every day or every month for sure. But if that's not enough, a lot of us are sending and receiving 126 emails a day, which is the average email volume. And again, the reason I'm sharing with you is, again, goes back to how we are communicating with our customers today. And if you go back to the cell phones, an average adult, sends and receives 5 calls a day, on the low end. But, the ones who are active, of course, many more, and 10 messages a day. But 5% of us actually, they do more than 200 text messages every day, including all different forms of messaging. So again, I think ultimately it comes down to how much of this we want to leverage, with, each other and with our customers. So let me take another quick poll, on that notion. We're going to have some fun with polls today. So let's go to the social media engagement poll. So let's do this. This is a quick one. How often do you engage in conversations with your customers on social media? Because, the key is conversations. A lot of us use social media every day. But are we actually having conversations, with the customers? And this is an important element, especially for customer communications.
Sanjay bhai, I would have to take exception to this because, as you know, my business is very highly regulated.
That's fair.
Okay, so I'm going to reply infrequent, but that is not an accurate answer because I am in constant communication with my clients.
Not through social media, but you're constantly communicating through
yes, sir.
Email and phone calls and as possible face-to-face.
Not face-to-face, because I'm in California, my clients are in New Jersey.
Right.
I do have clients in California and New Jersey, but it's a constant communication. One of my companies is an IT company and they have like 80 employees, which are nationwide. So I cannot go face-to-face with every one of them, but I am in constant communication.
Right. So I think the goal of this survey was also to share something which is very important, that social media is everywhere, right? LinkedIn, especially if you're B2B, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, the list is pretty big. And there's a quick poll on that as well. So if you are not, and your customers are there every day. So if you are not conversing with them, especially the ones who are on the fringe or the ones who would like to become your active fans, if you may, then you're missing out on that, right? So the key is, financial industry notwithstanding, and I'm sure there are some regulatory ways you could potentially do that too. the key is you got to be on it. You got to find ways to interact and engage, with your customers. And I think if you are doing infrequently, I would say you're missing out on something very important. Okay. And so that's the poll on social media. And on that question, I also want to have a quick thing on what social media platform do you use the most to communicate with your customers. And I think this is also an important question because, and this is where you can choose more than one, I believe. And again, this is to give you a sense of where your customers are. And hopefully oGoing will be one of them soon, on your wish list here or on your go-to list. But the point is, if you are not on these platforms, let's say, or if you're not communicating, again, some of your customers are likely to be on these platforms and you're just missing out. Now, again, we can all make a decision saying, well, we're only going to focus on the platforms that we are good at or where we tend to, just lean on because, we enjoy that more than others. That's fine. But the reality is also that you will have customers on all these platforms and you got to think about that, especially some of the newer ones like TikTok. And you might think, oh, no, it's just for teenagers, it's not for me. Well, you got to rethink all of that, right? Especially if you want to do business with, the emerging markets like the millennials and so on. Snapchat as well, Pinterest. So again, these are your top, I would say, social networks out there, which are, attracting a lot of end users. And you got to rethink some of your communication strategy if you want to connect with your customers, everywhere. Now you may say, well, LinkedIn is my primary base. I get 80% of my business on LinkedIn, which is totally fine. Then you got to focus on LinkedIn. But if you tell me that 20% of your customers are elsewhere, on Instagram, let's say, or Facebook or Pinterest, Snapchat, YouTube, then you got to be out there, right? YouTube, I see 0 here, right? So YouTube is the number 2 search engine after Google, and highly used in terms of both you and your customers. So why not rethink your YouTube strategy and maybe spend some more time there in creating not just videos, because a lot of us have hesitation of, if I'm on YouTube, I have to have great videos. Well, there are a lot of businesses who are on YouTube. Maybe you can go interact with them and share your knowledge or comments with them, and maybe interact as opposed to just putting your own videos. They will appreciate that as well. So you don't have to always think that you have to be creating content, right? It doesn't have to be starting with content. If I'm on Instagram, and I can't make content, I can't be there. Don't have that fear. Instead, think about all the businesses and end users on Instagram. Maybe go interact with them. Maybe share your comments. Maybe engage with their post, and you can come out ahead that way as well. You don't have to be just sharing a lot of content like everybody else is doing. So again, something to think about. So let me go ahead and end the poll and share the results of this. So as we can see, LinkedIn is the leader here at 67%, and then we have a few and far in between. But what I was amazed to see was that YouTube is at 0, and we can do something about that. And Pinterest is, by the way, a very effective platform if you want to communicate and do a lot of business, with women and with a lot of, I would say, creative folks. So again, Snapchat as well if you want to do business with the youngsters. So again, don't miss out on these platforms. Especially if you want to do a lot better in your communications with prospects as well as existing base. So let me go back and share the screen. I have a couple of more slides here to share, and then we'll have an open roundtable again. So yeah, the key message is, how do we communicate with customers everywhere, right? And they are everywhere. You can't assume that they're only on LinkedIn, they're only on Twitter, they're only on oGoing, right? They are everywhere. So you got to find ways to communicate and share and engage with them everywhere. And the message here is find out what works best for our customers and us. And you got to communicate that, right? So customers don't know. So if you tell me we are not doing anything on Snapchat, then at least I know that, hey, you're not on Snapchat. But if you don't tell me that, or if I'm not aware of it, then you know what, I might be on Snapchat and try to find you. And if I don't find you, I might think, what's going on? Why are you not on Snapchat? So I think part of it is communication, right? So you got to communicate on your website, in your email signatures, in your social media, right? However you communicate with your customers, keep your links in there, right? So I know that what are the different ways in which I can find you, I can reach out to you. And I think if you do that well, then I think customers will then begin to appreciate that, and they'll come back and communicate even more effectively with you. So, and I think once you narrow down what works well for you and what doesn't work well for you, I think then what will happen is, you will start doing better job in communicating even more effectively, right, with your customers. So here is a slide, and this is just taken for a business, right? Your slide could be very different. So for this business, what worked well for them? Well, emails worked well, Zoom is working well. They have put chatbots on their website, that's going well. They're using a lot of LinkedIn. So again, that's going well for you. What doesn't work well, actually? Well, they are not very friendly when it comes to phone calls or face-to-face. They love the email side of communications even more so. And they don't love a lot of messaging as well as, website, other kind of chats. So I think the key message is do more of what works for you. And I think that's something, we can take back from this roundtable. And also be aware of all different forms of communications, which are out there, which your customers are leveraging. So, don't be shy. Don't, go out there and try out a few new things that you haven't done before. So I have one more poll I wanted to try, which is an important poll, which is especially if you are a product business, and I know some of you are. I know we have Pop White that makes, toothpaste whiteners, teeth whiteners, and great many products for dentists and consumers. We have, Dave White here in Nevada, who does more of B2B products, services that help businesses, improve their bottom line. We have financial services here, we have Nina, who I haven't met in a long time, but she is having products to do with, great air, everywhere around you. So I think this poll is actually important from a product company's perspective. So what are the key benefits that the product managers will have, right? So if I'm a product manager at one of your companies, and if I'm talking regularly to my customers, what are some of the benefits that I will see and by talking, it could be emailing, it could be messaging, it could be actual phone calls, right? It doesn't have to be just talk. But here you can choose multiple options. And the reason I wanted to share this poll is also about what happens when your product managers and your marketeers are communicating effectively, with your customers. And there are many things to be gained from that. I think the old saying goes, the ones who are constantly in connection with their customers, they end up making, better products on the second go around. So I'm seeing a lot of good responses here. And I'll share the results with you quickly after the poll is done. And you can do multiple things here. So I don't think there's any bad answer here. The key here is to just give you a sense of what you can gain from being in touch with your clients, especially from a product management point of view. So I'm going to go and end the poll here so we can all see the results. And now we can talk about it. So the first, you can see the red line there, increase the loyalty. I think a lot of us chose that, which is a big part of, are you all seeing the results?
Oh, now we are.
Okay. So there you go. So just take a moment here to see, from increasing loyalty to shaping your marketing to just having a pulse of how's it going or what's going on. So these are a lot of great benefits to have, when we are communicating regularly with our clients. And there are different teams communicating, right? From your customer service team, which is more or less reactive, where customers are going there for help or they have a question or two or they need feedback, to the product teams, which can be highly proactive, where you are out there talking to your clients, building better relationships, getting customer feedback, even helping solve some potential bugs which you didn't know about, until you talk to your clients, to even shaping your marketing. So Nina, I know you have been in products before. I mean, what's your favorite reason to go talk to customers?
I think I'm a relationship builder.
Yeah.
So I love that about the business because for me, the product is a little beyond just air. It's tapping into the need right now for security and hope. So, loyalty, being in touch with the customer, what they think.
Yeah.
Most people are really happy with my product, so it's really not an issue there. But the relationship and ongoing relationship is important. That's
great. That's great. And so I think a lot of folks heavily talked about relationships and increasing the loyalty. I think some of you said get buy-in for new features. Any thoughts on that? Who shared that?
Oh, actually, I did.
You did. Okay. Anybody else? Go ahead, Nina. Go ahead.
No, I just sometimes when product is innovative,
yeah,
it takes a little time for people to adopt. So.
Right. That's a great point. Who else said get buy-in for new features?
Yeah, I did too. I'm also in product, by the way, a member of senior product leaderships group in Europe. It's essentially, I mean, I'm in that stage with Ghost Souls. We've released the platform. We're trying to help people, but I'm realizing that nobody knows. Either they don't know what it is or they're trying to figure. So just getting them to talk about it, making them aware that, oh, this is what it is. What you're experiencing is ghosting.
Yeah.
And then how do we also make people aware globally at the same time? So the way you do that is you go to the people that have those experiences and slowly, make them aware, create that awareness, put that content out through which helps them learn more, find solutions to their problems. That's how you generally create buy-in if you don't go for paid social, essentially, right?
That's a great point. That's a great point.
Me. Hello?
Yeah, go ahead, sir.
Yeah, okay. So we were making profit page for dental offices for pretty much adults crowd. And we saw a great need for children because we felt that children also need a good dental care and they need proper whitening, tooth cleaning and treatment. So we came up with a new product which is specifically designed for children. And so we talked to a number of our major distributors that what do you see a demand for a profit page for children? And they said, yes, we would love to have that. So we just finished designing the new product and now we are marketing that.
That's great. That's great. I love the fact that you have a closed loop and you take a lot of feedback from, the children, the parents, dentists. I mean, I think your product, Hark, is all vegan, right? It's all completely without any toxic compounds and all that. Yeah. Yeah, that's good. Yeah. We have a new member who just joined. Somnath joined. Somnath, can you introduce yourself and quickly tell us? Oh, he just dropped out. Okay, never mind. Anybody else had feedback on customer communications and what's working for you and what's not? Go ahead. It's an open forum now.
I would second Nina, the element of interpersonal relationships, just learning what they're experiencing and try to provide value by providing solutions to them. That helps. In regards to communication, I think since COVID has started, it has been more open. People are more open to socialize. A lot of networking going around. A lot of the events that were exclusive would only happen in, physical, but you have to be physically present, are happening globally now, and then you're able to virtually attend it. I'm going at 18 hours sometimes, attending across different time zones and making connections. So yeah, just love that.
Yeah, in a way, it's a weird way. I think we are connecting even more so. I think it's pretty amazing how some of the positive side effects of what's going on. Pankaj, you say you're always connecting, you're always in touch with your customers. Tell us how you're doing it and
One thing
how is
I
that
must
working
say,
for you?
now that I don't have to drive to 5151 California,
That's what I hold my round table, so I had to hear that.
I love to drive, but that's 4 hours one way. So I do not miss that. So
Right.
that's a great thing. But you had a very valid point, and I am trying to communicate, whether it's phone, email, or whatever. Generally, those are my two main sources.
Yeah.
But I am constantly communicating, and I think that is your most valid point. It doesn't matter what works or not. You have to figure out what works, but you have to be in communication. Absolutely.
Yeah, completely. I think so. Let me ask this question and have all of us share. Is there such a thing as over communication, or normally you don't think that's a problem? Anybody?
Deviating from the topic.
I guess not. So that's not a problem.
Not talking relevance is a problem,
Not talking. I see. That's a good point. It's a good point, Prince. Yeah. Bharat, how are you communicating, Bharat, with your customers nowadays? Bharat Bhakta, how are you, sir? And how are you communicating, and especially with the customers who are hopefully looking back to travel now?
Well, most probably right now, we do by the email right now. Now we can start a lot of the social media I'm using right now.
Okay.
Facebook and all these things,
Right.
And I start to getting some response on that one. Yeah.
Okay, got it. So you're connected well with your Facebook friends and
Yes.
Very good. I think you're right. A lot of people are looking to book travel for next summer now. I think a lot of people are looking to actively purchase a lot of good deals on the table.
Yeah, right now a lot of good deals, right? That's why,
What happens? I'm just curious. Let's say if I buy a cruise package for next summer, but let's say if things are still like that, would I get a future credit? How does it work?
Yes. Future credit you can get it right now. Yes.
I see. So the companies are very open to that, receptive.
Oh yeah. Right now everybody's very open right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bruce, give us a couple of bites on how you are communicating and how's it going for you.
Oh,
there you go, Bruce.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Yeah. Well, what's working for you, Bruce, in this current times?
Sorry, I was in the chat section, busy doing things, chatting away with people.
No worries.
I'm finding it's really funny how before COVID I would be taking conference calls. Now I hate taking conference calls. I want to see the people. I want to talk to them. Yeah. And I don't want to just talk to them. I want to actually see them. And then they give me all these lame excuses about, I don't look good. I haven't combed my hair. I said, I don't care. These cameras aren't that good anyway. So, relax. And I just find that is changing everything. When you think about it, let's say you had a meeting with somebody and in LA, you're traveling an hour to get there. You have an hour and a half meeting, you get an hour to get back. You've just shot, almost 4 hours. It's
insane. Now we are thinking that why were you doing that?
Why? Yeah, because we kept promising. I've got this camera that I got 6 years ago because we were going to get into the video conferencing, and we did nothing.
Yeah.
Nobody did anything with it, and now all of a sudden we're doing it every day, and going, well, why haven't we been doing this?
No, it's. I think it's a heaven sent. I'm so glad that these technologies were there. We had the bandwidth, we had good computers. I mean, everything just worked like clockwork. It was like like a perfect storm, of a good type.
Well, my wife though is really struggling. She's a school teacher, and it is a
Oh,
mess. It's a disaster.
what grade levels is she teaching?
She's teaching mid school.
Oh my God,
And
that
I
has
mean,
to
the
be tough.
kids can't. Some of them can't hear. Some of the volume goes out. The
Yeah,
internet goes off. And I mean,
it's a mess. Yeah, it's very difficult to manage that. Yeah, especially like even in today's roundtable, I think I had to remind folks for muting, and I think once it gets beyond like 15 people or so, it gets very hard. Yeah.
yeah. Now, obviously, in Bangalore, it's all different because that's the capital, the tech capital of the world. And when I was in Bangalore, it was awful. I mean, everything was shutting down for like 2 hours. I'm
Oh,
thinking,
it's
wait a minute,
difficult.
this is the
It's
Silicon Valley of India? What's going on here?
They still get their power cuts, and I think it's even harder to go from point A to point B in Bangalore. It's much harder. The traffic there is. We can't come out to LA anymore.
Yeah, but
Oh,
nobody drives as well as Indians do. I'm telling you, they can drive 8 cars in 3 lanes and nobody crashes into anybody. I find that fascinating.
I fell off the couch. And Sanjay, to your point, I think the traffic across India is like that. And I think earlier your dad, Mr. Burt, was talking about how things are. People have life has gone normal. Like
Yeah.
people have stopped caring.
Yeah, but I think, I loved Prime Minister Narendra Modi's message. He messaged on his birthday, which was September 17th. And he said, thank you all for all the birthday wishes. But my only wish that, you're all wishing me so much is that all of India wears mask every day and keeps that social distance. That's my only wish, so that everybody can be safe and healthy. And he said that on his Twitter feed very openly. And I think as a messenger, everybody is always wearing a mask, and he's being so forthright about it. A very direct message, and there is no confusion. He's telling it as it is, and I wish other world leaders followed the same suit, and did what he's doing. And I think we could have had much lesser number of casualties everywhere. But yeah, I really wish well for everybody in India for sure. I mean, it's going to be difficult, but let's hope that we can keep that going. But thank you all. I think Zoom has been a great platform, as we all know, for all of us in connecting. Especially from a distance, especially when we can see each other so well. I think let's keep zooming. Zoom is having a Zoomtopia in October, so I just registered today. I think it's towards the 3rd week. Not trying to give an advertisement for that, but I think it'll be fun if you all love the platform to join and see what else is happening in the Zoom world. We will have another roundtable. I'm planning to do more of networking type roundtables where it's not so much about a topic, but more about just connecting like this and seeing each other and just sharing what's going on. So maybe we'll do that more frequently. We did that on behalf of Thai SoCal. I think there was a time when we were doing it almost one every day, right, Anil? Yeah.
yes.
And I think then the frequency is now more like once a week, I think now, once or twice a week.
Yeah, it has cut down quite a bit because everybody's getting busy and stuff. So
And everybody else caught on, so they're all being asked to participate in many more Zoom meetings and I think online meetings now. So, so do look for an invite from me. Again, thank you all for joining, and stay safe, stay healthy, and it's great
before
to
we
be
branch
connected.
out. Sorry, before we branch out, just quickly, couple things. Would you be kind to share the link to that Facebook Live? I was trying to find it, I couldn't find it. That's one. And then may I offer a suggestion for the networking? I don't know if you're familiar with Hopin. We could do like speed dating kind of conferencing. That would be amazing. Look forward to catch up with all of you. Loved it. Thank you so very much, Sanjay.
Thank you, Prince, and a lot of great points, and also learned a lot about you. Hopefully we'll see your face next time. I think you showed us briefly. There you go. Yeah, it came in and out quickly. But yeah, I'm going to test out Hopin. I've heard a lot about it. I'm curious myself to see what all it is. I mean, maybe we should go to try it out for Thai SoCal as well. We'll check that out for sure.
Yeah, we tried Floor, which is a Bangalore-based startup. That's few of them, Airmeet. We're trying few things, yeah.
Absolutely. We're always open to trying out new technology.
Yes, yes.
Dave, Bruce, Bharat, Koshi, everybody else, Nina, great to reconnect. We'll do more things together. Great to see you. And
thank you very much.
thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.
There you go. Have a great evening, guys.
He came now. Prince came now.
Thank you. Bye.
See you guys. Bye-bye. Thank you, Koshi, for joining. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Sanjay. Thank you.
Thank you, Dave. Bye-bye.